We would like to announce the death of a beloved wife, mother, sister, grandmother, and friend, Theresa Sybil Francis, née Aubert, also known as Ma Atley, who passed away at the St. Jude's Hospital on June 13, 2023, at 2:30 a.m. She was 69 years old. She was predeceased by her son, Alvin Francis, also known as Schillaci, and her sister, Deborah Alphonse. Left to mourn her husband, Mr. Atley Francis of Mico, her 3 children, Cheryl Aubert, residing in St. Martin, Adeline Francis, residing in Canada, Ali Francis, residing in New York, her stepchildren, Wayne Amédée, residing in Trinidad, Simonia Amédée, residing in England, her grandchildren, Bertini Gaspar, residing in St. Martin, Aliyah Francis of Mico, Clint Joseph Francis, residing in Miami, Florida. Kelia, Aliyah, and Ree Francis, residing in New York. Her sisters, Cynthia Agnes Providence and family of Mico and the U.S., Joan Aubert and family of St. Croix, the U.S. and Mico, Martha Francis and family of the U.S., England and Mico, Magdalene Aubert Monero and family of Mico, the USVI, Martinique and France, Monica Serrier, also known as Joycelyn, and family of England, Mary Albert and family of England, Veneranda Aubert and family of Tiroche Mico, Hydrina Aubert and family in St. Martin and Tiroche Mico, deceased sister Deborah Alphonse and family of Tiroche Mico, her 2 brothers, Henry Herman Aubert and family of England and Mico, Matthew Aubert and family of Mico and Canada, who was also her godson, 1 uncle, Gonzague Maximin, also known as Robbie, and family of Duga Mico, 1 aunt, Eldra Smith, also known as Jalika and family of Antigua and St. Lucia, godchildren, Johnny Denver Providence, Bradley George of Mico, Rick Aubert of Martinique, her cousins, Mrs. Martha Charles and family, Mrs. Norma Dubois and family, George St. Rose and family residing in St. Croix, Magnus St. Croix and family, son-in-law, Francisco Mecab, daughter-in-law, Rhonda Ramin, brothers-in-law, Cyril Francis and family in England, the U.S. and St. Lucia, Elude Francis, also known as Ludney in the USVI, Robert Felicien, also known as Francis in St. Martin, Peter Felicien in England, Pierre Monero in the USVI, Michael Louis, also known as Press, sisters-in-law, Andreth May Francis and family in St. Martin, Thelma Paulina Francis and family in St. Martin, Agneta Aggie Felicien and family of the U.S. and St. Lucia, Cornelia Marsley and family in St. Lucia, Marie George and family in the U.S. and St. Lucia, her nieces, Merlin Providence, Mrs. Charlene Etienne, Irina Francis, Melissa Francis, Nadia Aubert, Rita Aubert, Richie Aubert, also known as Spice, Yasmin Serrier, Keisha Serrier, Faye Aubert, Jaima Aubert, Charlene Chantal Aubert, Jermaine Aubert Francis, Maria Aubert, Cheverly Monroe, her nephews, Kenneth Providence, Alan Providence, also known as Posh, Bain Aubert, Guy Aubert, Charlton Aubert, Kim Aubert, Curtis Serrier, Ray George, Prince George, Vian George, Nitas Aubert, Jali Aubert, Garbinus Aubert, Chad Aubert, Marvin Aubert, Matthias Aubert, Kenwin Aubert, Kirby and Aaron Francis. Her best friends, Cecil George and Martharine Peters, both of Miko. Family friends, Emerson Tutut of Miko, Oswald Antoine residing in St. Martin. Also left to mourn, the Fanas family of Miko, the Dauncey family of Duga Miko, the St. Rose family of Choiseul, the St. Croix family of Balata Choiseul and Castries, the Francis family of Miko, children of deceased Aunt Arme Wilson of Tiroche Miko, children of deceased Aunt Marge Aubert of England, France and St. Lucia, children of deceased Aunt Rebecca Anderson Matty, also known as Becca of the U.S., St. Lucia, the BVI, Barbados and England, children of deceased Uncle Gregory Maximin, also known as Hurdley of St. Croix and the U.S., children of deceased Aunt Marie Eluna Moschery of Blanchard, the U.S., BVI and Martinique, children of deceased Uncle Raphael Nerves, also known as Affy of Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada, children of deceased Aunt Rodina Roberts of Barbados, St. Lucia and the U.S., many other relatives and friends, too numerous to mention. The funeral service for the late Teresa Sybil Francis, née Aubert, also known as Ma Atley, will be held at the St. Lucy's National Shrine in Miko on Friday, July 14, 2023 at 2:30 p.m., after which her body will be interred at the Miko Cemetery. Special note, the family would like persons to wear a touch of orange to the funeral service for Mrs. Teresa Francis. Also, there will be a bus for only family members to take persons from Miko from 1 p.m. to Rambali's funeral parlor for the viewing, then to the Miko Catholic Church for the service, and after to the Miko Cemetery and back to Miko. The body now lies at Rambali's funeral parlor, Latuni, V4.